Yes, I was just approached by a guy in a vehicle that said City of Marion Code Enforcement, and he's identifying as an officer, yet he has no oath of office, he doesn't have any bond, he doesn't have 3 forms of ID, refused to identify. So we have an agency running around not carrying the proper identification, acting as a police officer. That is a great concern to the people here in this community. And I'd like to file a police report, and I'd also like to speak to the police chief immediately about this situation. That's just absolutely egregious. Not only that, trespass on private property without a warrant, without probable cause, without an order from a court, and no affidavit in support based upon whatever he felt he could do. That's a major issue here. It's a major encroachment violation of the 4th Amendment.
Okay, I will have an officer come in and speak to you.
I want the chief. I want the one who's got culpable liability. This is a major issue. This is a breach of the 4th Amendment. I do not take this lightly. This is very important. I want the chief, the big dog. I don't want to deal with a pissant that doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. I want the chief. I'm going to fix some liability to somebody here today. If they don't, go arrest him. That'd be the chief.
You don't just get to the chief.
I get to demand whatever I want because they're public servants and they're accountable to we the
We
people.
can bring an officer in for you.
I need the
We're
chief
not
of
bringing the
police.
chief in for you.
Then give me his business card and I'll get a hold of the chief.
First, it's a female.
Okay, well, that's fine. I just said the chief.
668-4412 to make an appointment.
You can also send an officer out here as well.
What's the problem?
We got people running around this community acting like they're law enforcement, dressed as law enforcement. They're clearly not law enforcement. Then they trespass on private property without a warrant, without probable cause, without a signature from a judge. And it's absolutely appalling and egregious. There's some liability here. My name is Derrick.
What's your last name, Derek?
It's private at this point.
Okay, well, we have to have the information up in the college.
Look, your job is simply to give me an officer or the chief of police. I have no obligation to give you any information.
We need to know where it happened at.
I will divulge that information on the private complaint that I'm about to file.
To bring an officer in, so I know who to bring in. We don't want to bring in someone that's just going to waste everybody's time because.
I already told you to bring in the chief of police. That's not wasting any time. And I know you ladies didn't do any wrong, but I can't believe what I just witnessed. Absolutely astonishing.
Well, code enforcement,
Mm-hmm.
they're not a police officer, but they are an officer.
No, ma'am. They are not an officer.
Code enforcement have
Who carries the liability for the code enforcement officers then?
city.
The city. Okay. Just the same, they're imitating a police officer.
He said he was a police officer.
He said he was an officer. He's wearing a shirt that has a badge on it. He's also wearing a badge. He's also got body camera on him.
For code enforcement.
I don't care what it is. That's imitating an officer of the United States, which is a violation of Title 18, 914, I believe it is.
I'll look at it more today. Hi, how can I help
I
you?
need to speak with an officer.
You need to speak with an officer?
Yes, please.
What, you don't have to tell me just tell me what it's about, you don't have to give me.
Harassment on my
For
phone.
harassment, okay. I'm gonna need a little bit more information, ma'am. What's your last name?
Riley,
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 and your first name?
Teresa, Theresa.
Oh, yeah.
Are you on 8th Street?
Yeah, I don't know that she's because
You can have a seat and an officer will be right in.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, and she's a friend of a former friend of that's how the paper was rejected.
Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna use that. No, I'm just getting plain normal.
All right, Diane. Can I help you?
Yes, are you the chief?
I'm not. She is not here. I'm
Okay,
Captain
when will
on
the-
day shift.
I need a complaint form. I'll put an affidavit together with it. I need it to be submitted to the chief, to somebody who's got the liability and carries the actual proper bond
So
they're
how
supposed
our
to have.
complaints goes, you send it to, do you know which officer complained on? Or
That's the
is it
problem.
somebody
It's
from-
not an officer. It's a man who showed up with a shirt that has a badge on it. He had a badge on his hip, proclaimed to be an officer. Come to find out, I asked him for 3 forms of ID and who he works for, and he goes, I'm not a cop. And I'm like, yeah, don't move. Just stay right there. He calls somebody by the name of Jason from this organization, and Jason says, get the hell out of there right now. He trespassed on private property, no warrant, no probable cause, no oath or affirmation
So
sign.
it looks like you need to make a complaint with the.
No.
with the-
I want this guy arrested for imitating an officer. I'm willing to file a complaint
you need
right
to make
now.
You need to file a police report.
Police report. Grab me the
supposed to
report. I'll
complain.
file the report. I'll sign an affidavit, and then we'll find out who's primarily liable here and carrying the primary active degree of
Come in
fault.
and give me a statement here.
You bet.
Okay. Yeah, you need to make an actual report. This is not one of our officers. You're making a report.
Yep, I want him arrested. Imitating an officer in the United States is a
Oh, I'm
federal
sorry. I
crime.
didn't realize you were with him. I thought you were waiting on somebody else. Sneaking in there on me. Okay. So, let me get some general information for the two of you. This room is recorded, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
She wasn't a
Hamilton-
witness to it, so her information's not pertinent.
And your name, sir?
My name is Derrick, Derrick. Gonzalez, Gonzalez.
And the address and whatever happened.
It was on the, what is it? It was 513 West 1st Street, in that proximity.
Is this your property or is it,
It is not, but it's private property, it's family property.
Okay.
And he trespassed without a warrant, acted
I'm
as
just
an
trying to
officer of the
figure out-
law.
Okay, we'll get there. I'm just asking,
Yeah.
like, who owns this property, I guess. Or good phone number for you
308-201-1139.
and your birthday.
610-84.
Okay, so this address is where this person came to,
Yep.
and it's this. He gave you this.
He gave me this. He was on the phone with, if I could get a hold of law enforcement to get up there to arrest his ass for imitating an officer. He jumped in his car and he took off. Jason was on the phone with him, and Jason said, you need to leave right now.
Okay,
You trespassed on private property.
So what happened? I mean, I know you're saying trespass, but did you pull up, see him out there sitting on your couch? How did this all play
I
out?
walked outside to have a cigarette. Walked outside to have it there real quick. I'll be right back. I just need to go get me pen and paper. We're going to get down to the bottom of this.
Okay.
You're required to have 3 forms of ID. You're required to identify to the public when we ask you. I know the rules of the game. All right. When he failed to identify and he starts getting on the phone and acting frantic, he's got lights on his car that look like they may be
What does
lights.
it look like?
It was red. It says City of Marion on the side of it. Code enforcement. People that act like they're fucking officers of the law is really egregious to me. Pisses me off something fierce. And the fact that the city seems to condone behavior like that, and then some jackass gets the idea that he can run around and do that himself because, well, there is no rules. Code enforcement, I can dress up like code enforcement and act like a fucking clown all day. That pisses me off. So this needs to be immediately addressed. I want the complaint form. I also want to go ahead and file a report. I want this guy arrested for imitating an officer of the United States government.
Okay, so this is what I'm doing. Okay, as a police officer. Okay, I know I don't look like this on my uniform on. I'm on light duty. Okay, I'm a captain on day shift. I'll make a police report of your report of him imitating an officer. Okay.
And in the meantime, I will go ahead and fill out a sworn affidavit under the pains and penalties of perjury under Title 28, 1746, swearing under the pains and penalties of perjury under the laws of the United States of America, what I saw, what happened, and what encountered, and then when can I expect an arrest to be effectively made?
This, we don't do written affidavits anymore. That would be part of my report. This room's being recorded, so your statement's being recorded. I take that, put it into writing, it goes to the prosecutor's office. That's our oath, okay? If you want to make a complaint on him, complaint. Okay, you're making the report with me as a crime. If you want to make a complaint on him as a city employee, you need to go to the mayor's office.
I will
okay?
be going to the mayor's office
that's
after this, but first and foremost, I want the son of a bitch arrested for imitating
I
an
have to
officer
go
of the
do my
United
job,
States.
okay? I have to go type my report. I can't just go
That's
arrest
fine.
this guy without
I will put an
prosecution.
affidavit together. I will bring it down here. You
And
can
then
launch it to your
we can
report, and
throw-
that way we've got everything 100% accurate without any questions.
Can I write our case number on that card?
You may.
Okay, let me go grab that for you real quick.
Thank you.
Hey Lola, did you put me on a call for? Are you doing it, Phil? Yeah, I can do it. Okay, I just need a case number to put on this for you.
They are on their way in, ma'am, just so you know.
I did put my cell phone duty this morning. I'm on my computer, but all right, that's our case number. This is the police.
Perfect.
This will be the and that's my Captain Richards. I know I scribbled, but
That's
I'm
all right.
here till 4,
Appreciate you.
Monday through Thursday. Right now, sitting in my office.
Thank you. And again, I hope you can understand why I'm aggrieved.
I am.
This country's going to shit, and if the people don't start taking immediate action, we're in some real trouble here. And people running around pretending to be officers is not a good
And
idea.
I will handle that part of it, but like I said, if a complaint on him, for an employee perspective, has to go up to the mayor's office.
You realize they put his life in danger by doing shit like that,
I know. I agree.
right?
I'm not arguing with you.
All right. Thanks, Captain Richard. I appreciate you.
Like
When
said,
can I hear back from you?
Are you going to do that affidavit and bring it back down?
I will.
If you're not here by 4, like I said, I'm here 6 to 4 tomorrow.
All right.
And Thursday, so.
Thanks, Captain. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
What's the chief's name, by the way?
Angela Haley.
All right. Thank you much.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mayor's office. Gentlemen, where's the mayor's office at by chance?
What's that?
The mayor's office? Do you know where that's at?
Right there upstairs. Right there
All
upstairs.
right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yep, just get the top stairs, turn left.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. How are you today? An egregious incident today of a man alleged to be a code enforcement officer. And I just need to speak to the mayor real quick, see who authorized that, get your crime policy, liability, insurance.
You'll have to talk to the building commissioner about that first.
Okay.
He's gonna be on the 3rd floor. His name's Jerry.
Jerry.
Jerry, he's the building commissioner and owner of the code enforcers.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much. Who's Jason, by the way?
Jason is a code enforcer.
Jason is a code enforcement. All right. Thank you. 3rd floor, you said?
Yep.
And what's the title of the
Building commissioner?
building commissioner? Thank you. 3rd floor. I don't have a set of stairs for the 3rd floor, so I guess you're gonna take an elevator. Yeah, that one will work. Hi, how are you? Well, everybody's gonna scurry around like a rat on a sinking ship. Watch. They all know I'm in the building. They all know I'm running around looking for people, and they'll all coincidentally be at lunch or missing. Boy, people got some big balls around here, I'll tell you what. Big fucking balls. All right. Code enforcement, huh? There we go. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. You happen to be an officer of law, or are you also imitating an officer of law
I'm not
today?
imitating nothing.
Okay,
I am
so
a
you're
code enforcement officer, so was my officer that came out to you.
all right. I need your guys' insurance policy, your criminal liability bond, your fidelity
For what?
bond. I just have one of your agents and agency come up to my property and imitate to be an officer of the law.
No, he was
Trespass,
not imitating the
trust,
cop.
you
No, he
trespass
was not.
on private property
He's
without a
allowed to do that
warrant,
for
violated the
city
Fourth Amendment.
He's allowed to do that.
Okay, that's just fine. I need your guys' fidelity bond, your criminal policy. Go ahead and produce it, or I can put it in writing and we can get it that way. But you're 100% liable. Are you Jason that he was on the phone with?
I am.
Wonderful. Okay, so what was that man doing up there?
Evidently, you had some vehicles that need to be tagged.
Who says that?
He did when he walked on your property.
So you're admitting that he walked on the property. Thank
Yes.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he walked on your property. He has that right to do that. He can
Where
go
was his
on your
authorization to walk onto that
anywhere.
property? He can go anywhere without a warrant.
Yep.
Be
As a
damned
code
the Fourth
enforcement
Amendment
officer,
or
you
the Indiana
Yep.
Constitution.
The only thing we can't do is enter a building without consent.
Okay, and where did you guys get your law enforcement training at?
We don't have law enforcement.
You don't have
We
law enforcement
need-
training?
We don't need law.
You don't need law enforcement training. So the law just means absolutely nothing. It's worse than a broke dick or tits on a wild boar. It's just absolutely worthless. So
Okay, that's how you want to look at it.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
No, we have a city ordinance.
Okay, you have a city
City
ordinance.
of Marion has a city ordinance.
And where's the
And
city
allows us
ordinance?
to do that?
Okay. And when was the city ordinance passed by the legislature or Congress?
It was passed by the city council.
City council. So city council bears a liability for having a bunch of nummies running around looking like cops, acting like cops, violating the Fourth Amendment. That's what you're telling me? That's your statement of fact?
Yep, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay, that's all right. So can I get the insurance policy that you guys carry? Are you independently
Insurance
insured?
for what?
Because you violated the law.
No,
You're
we did
culpable
not.
for that.
We did not violate any law.
Okay, well, that's your statement, and you can
And
say
that's
that
your
till you're blue in the
statement. We did
face.
not
But
violate anything.
what I need from you guys, are you refusing to provide information about your
Yes, I am,
corporation and
because
who
there's
you work for?
information that you need in regards to that.
Okay,
I
so-
can give you the city ordinance. That's what I can give you.
Well-
Other than that, there's no other information that you need.
You can give me the city ordinance. I'm not objecting to anything that you want to give that will incriminate yourself. Go ahead and give me the city ordinance. And then if you got the crime policy and your insurance policy and
We don't
fidelity,
need a crime policy.
are you
We don't
guys
need an
independent?
insurance policy.
Are you guys independently bonded, or are you, the blanket bond that covers you guys
We're
by
not
that?
bonded as far as I know. We're not.
You're not bonded.
As far
So you
as I
carry
know.
unlimited liability in your personal capacity for acting as agents and agency without an oath of office, without a bond, and you freely admit to trespassing on people's private property, absent a
We're not
warrant,
trespassing.
violating a Fourth
We're not
Amendment.
trespassing. I'll get that
Without.
ordinance for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Jason. Wow, this is incredible. This is unbelievable. They're all walking around here with badges on. They all walk around here with badges on. Mm-hmm. Yep. Code enforcement. It's needed because, you know, it's like a wart on a donkey's dick. It serves a purpose, right? Means he mean to tell me the police department, the sheriff's department is enough. You got to have code enforcement out issuing tickets and trespassing and violating people's rights too, acting and imitating like they're officers of the law. It is extraordinarily dangerous. And then to admit that they don't have any formal training. They don't. They don't go to any, not a hinkling of fucking training. It's absolutely incredible.
No, they didn't violate the law.
Uh-huh. And then to admit openly that they trespass on people's property without a warrant, without probable cause, without reasonable articulable suspicion, without a reasonable articulable fact, to support their egregious encroachment on my unalienable rights to live peacefully privately and without being fucking encroached upon is just absolutely insanity.
And then he knew exactly who you were when you came up here.
Of course he does.
So this is our ordinance.
Okay.
And just so you know, if we
Thank you.
approach you on your property and we have an issue with that, we can call the police and we can get
You
that
should have
done.
called the police. In
No,
fact,
we
I
shouldn't
demanded.
have to.
I demanded he call the
So
police
if you
because I
have any
wanted
more
his ass
questions,
arrested for imitating an
Legal is
officer.
downstairs, second floor.
Legal?
Talk
Yep.
to them.
So, again, the city council is.
City council is what
You got a business.
approved this.
You got a business card for the city
I
council?
do not.
Okay. And who is your supervisor here?
My name, Jerry Postnight.
Jerry Fossnight. Does he have a business card up here?
He does.
Okay, and you're saying the badge on your shirt is not imitating an officer, and the badge that you wear carried on your hip is not imitating an officer. You
No,
don't have
I don't believe it says
don't-
anything about police. It says code enforcement.
and you don't have an oath of office. You have no formal
Nope.
training in law or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay, and again, you are fully aware that your member of your little
Yes, I am.
band of thugs decided to trespass,
Yes, I
criminally
am.
trespass without authorization. All right, thank
Yes,
you.
I am.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good day, buddy.
See you in a couple days.
Yeah, you should probably get some private insurance. Oh, unbelievable. Now,
2 or 1?
I'm not sure what private officials I need to talk to at this point, but have you ever had an encounter with private code enforcement by the city of Marion?
No.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
We're going to
The,
hit both the other floors,
I
so
appreciate you.
you know where you're going.
No, I have no clue. Freedom. Freedom Street, Constitutional Avenue, that's where I'm headed. I'm tired of watching this country burn down and
Right.
turn into a communist shithole, and this is the kind of bullshit rhetoric that these people get away with. It's unbelievable. So. Okay, we had a discussion with them. He says that, Jason's who I spoke to, he says that they're actually authorized by the city board or city council. Is the mayor lord over the city council and county board here?
Well, the administration is is it executive or legislative? I can't remember, but operational, the mayor is over. The council is over like the budgets and stuff. So what's the issue?
Well, I had a gentleman imitate an officer today, violate the Fourth Amendment, not have reasonable articulable suspicion or reasonable articulable fact for trespassing on private property. But I asked him to call a police officer, inform the deputy sheriff. He called somebody by the name of Jason, and Jason said, "Get the hell out of there. Drive off. Go, 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 go."
Who was the person imitating?
Well, he said, I'm an officer. My badge number is da-da-da-da-da. And he pretended to be an officer. He said, the reason that I'm stopped here.
Attempted to be a code officer or a police officer?
You know, I can't affirm one way or the other, but he sure looked to me like he was a police officer carrying a badge and having a shirt on it with a badge and identifying himself as an officer and then giving me a badge number. So
Well, did you talk to police?
I've already filed a criminal complaint down there, and I'll be pursuing that. But I really need to know who carries a primary active degree of fault for liability for allowing a bunch of non-trained personnel to run around this city imitating an officer in 2022, which isn't authorized. So, and if it is authorized, I want to know.
Imitating them, then why would they be part of the city?
Well, that's what I found out through my discovery here by coming down here and finding out who's who and what's going on exactly. I find it egregious. It's appalling to me that it's dangerous. One, first and foremost, you have people trespassing on private property under the guise that they have unlimited access to anybody's property with the exception of just walking into their house. That's extraordinarily dangerous, first and foremost. They have no formal training. According to Jason, the supervisor upstairs. So they have no training in law enforcement, they have no training in law at all, and yet they're running around without reasonable articulable fact, reasonable articulable suspicion, and they don't have a judge's signed warrant, an oath, an affidavit, independently bonded as there should be per the Indiana Constitution and the Constitution for the United States of America, and it's rather egregious to me. And I had my privacy and my rights invaded today, and I would like to take this up all the way there through the chain of command. I want the criminal liability policy, the insurance policy, the fidelity bonds, the good faith bonds. I want to know who's primarily carrying the active degree of fault for this egregious trespass. Who authorized this and who carries the liability?
Okay, well, I can take your name and number.
Thank you. I sure appreciate you.
What's your name?
Derrick, Derrick.
Okay,
Gonzalez, Gonzalez.
and what's a good phone number?
308-201-1139.
Where is the address that they came on?
The police already have it. So, And if you have somebody call me, I'd be more than willing to share that information privately.
Okay.
So, yep, I just want to know who carries a primary active degree of fault for having a bunch of unlicensed, uninsured, untrained individuals running around this community, fleecing people, allegedly having no need for the Fourth Amendment or complete disregard for the Constitution for the state of Indiana. So I just want to know who's liable for it. So we can go ahead and fix liability to them. Maybe we can get this correct in short order. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Do you have a business card by chance?
I have the mayor's card.
That's all I need, sweetie. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your
Send it to you
professionalism.
in case he's the one that calls you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate you. Thanks for your professionalism. All right. These people are... Now remember, it is not the fault of any of these clerks or secretaries. So I'm worked up, but in no shape or form is it there's one of those guys right there.
She's calling me now.
Who's calling me? Yeah, I'll take care of that in a minute. All right, so let's go see what these boys roll around in, because here's one of these code enforcement officers now who they purport to have no training at all. Son of a gun. Now, let's see if this red vehicle's still here, because they know I'm here, so more than likely they said, get that fucking thing out of here. Oh, it is still there. Here, take that. Boy, I hate it when people piss on my back and try and convince me it's raining. So, this is the automobile that, how are you, sir? This is the automobile that showed up. Got lights out here that look like they might be police lights. Kind of looks like it might be an undercover detective car. Got lights all around it. This is what it says on the side. Looks like a cop car. Guy driving around acting like he's a cop. Got reasonable articulate suspicion that I've got a man imitating an officer of the law. He got reason to believe that he might be involved in terroristic activity against American people. Seems to me there's plenty of police around here to enforce the law, considering those are all authorized units, and somehow they're just not generating enough money. So, anyway, you will hear more about this shit show coming up. Freedom isn't free. You gotta enforce your rights. And with dipshits running around without any training, openly admitting they have no bond, no oath, no law enforcement training at all, and they're running around people's private property, you should always take action. Always, always, always. If you slumber upon your rights, you don't have any rights, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not an asshole. I'm just very assertive. And we'll talk to you guys real soon.